particularly those speaking on the defense production. The U.S., as we all know, is a strategic leader in the free world, in large part due to our arsenal of democracy. What you're helping to provide for this is essential. And the hot conflicts that continue to rage in the Middle East and around the world, continuing throughout our area, our strategic stockpiles, as we all know, have continued to dwindle. And the ability to not only re-support, but find new ways into this continues to be challenged. The U.S. has the most capable innovation and manufacturing capabilities in the world, and so I think we all collectively want to find ways to do this effectively. So with that, I'd like to talk about leveraging the full spectrum of the Defense Production Act to allow the U.S. to fill our existing gaps and outputs and harness the full potentials of our partners, both within the industrial sector, the innovative sector, as well as our foreign allies. So let's get started. First off, I'd like to begin with you, Dr. Taylor Kale. I appreciate you being in here today. As we look at what we are doing in the Defense Production Act, particularly in Section 3 here, we have identified that there are more and more foreign partners who potentially have a potential to be with us, the United Kingdom, Australia. Would you support DPA Title III awards being made available for foreign companies, even if they spend those funds potentially abroad?
Thank you for the question. And again, I want to underline that the department really applauds the Congress for redefining domestic sources to include Australia and the UK. As it currently stands, we give awards to companies that are planning to do projects in the United States or in Canada. As of yet, we haven't actually issued a DPA Title III award for a company working in Canada. And then now that we have the new authority for UK and Australia, we'll be able to do so there. But our priority is domestic sourcing and domestic production. And generally that means for companies that are planning to do work in the US and now also Canada, UK, and Australia.
Which is great. As we expand into that, I guess I want to know, are there certain things that would be more effectively done with our, in this case, our Five Eyes partners minus New Zealand, in a more efficient way, particularly when we're talking about submarine development for containment of potential adversaries in the South China Sea?
So the way in which we've talked about using the Defense Production Act, particularly with these expanded domestic partners, is really to address, use it for our mutual benefit to address supply chain concerns. So we have defense critical supply chains that are a concern for us, as well as the Canadians, the UK, and the Australians. And so the way that we plan to use these awards is really to address how can we use mutual benefit to address some defense critical supply chains.
Thank you, Doctor. Let me ask a more specific question then. Under DPA Title III, do you have the ability to award to a foreign entity that would build in a foreign country? Does the authority exist?
My understanding of the law is that we have the ability to award to companies that are based in the US, UK, Australia.
Right, so like the Joint Strike Fighters. Obviously, we can build components in all of those areas. That would make sense, correct? Same could be said for software.
As long as the companies are from the US, UK, Australia, Canada, and also working in those countries.
So what's the average length of time for receiving a DPA Title III request once a final government reply has been delivered? And let's just say in the last 2 years.
Sure, in the last 2 years, we've improved it where now it's from the time that we receive the white paper to when we make a determination to the company. It can be anywhere from 3 months to more. Where the time has come into place and where is decreased time is in the actual obligation of the awards. Again, it's been my priority as Assistant Secretary to decrease those times, and with the new Defense Industrial Base Consortium, as well as working more closely with our Air Force partners, we're going to be able to reduce those times to 12 to 16 weeks.
Well, that would be amazing if that's the timeline that you're able to do. I think we've all experienced, and collectively, the valley of death here, particularly for folks who want to come into this sector. Right now, we only have really 5 major defense contractors, so much innovation available. I would encourage us to look collectively at how we can provide better on-ramps for these folks, how we can lessen that timeline, and particularly with our allies, being able to bring on the innovation necessary at the time and place of need. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I yield the remainder of my time.
Gentleman yields back. With that, we go to the gentlelady from Texas. Ms. De La Cruz is recognized.